Progressive overload is the cornerstone of any effective exercise program because it directly drives the body's ability to adapt and improve over time. The principle is simple in concept but powerful in practice. In order for muscles, bones, and connective tissues to grow stronger, the stress placed on them during training must gradually increase. Without this incremental challenge, the body becomes accustomed to the stimulus, adaptation slows, and progress stalls. This principle applies across all forms of exercise, from weightlifting to cardiovascular training, high-intensity intervals, and even mobility or balance work. Progressive overload ensures that each workout contributes meaningfully to long-term improvement rather than maintaining the status quo. The way progressive overload works is rooted in the body's biological response to stress. When muscles are exposed to resistance or tension that exceeds their current capacity, tiny microtears occur in muscle fibers. These microtears signal the body to repair and strengthen the tissue, resulting in muscle growth and increased resilience. Similarly, bones respond to mechanical stress by increasing density. Connective tissues like tendons and ligaments adapt by becoming stronger, and the cardiovascular system improves efficiency under repeated, controlled load. The key is that the stress must be sufficient to challenge the system, but not so extreme that it causes injury or excessive fatigue. Gradually increasing load, intensity, volume, or complexity allows adaptation to occur safely and consistently. Tracking performance is essential for implementing progressive overload effectively. For strength training, this might involve gradually increasing the weight lifted, the number of repetitions completed, or the number of sets performed. In endurance training, it could mean extending distance, duration, or intensity over time. Without measurable benchmarks, it is difficult to ensure that each session is providing the right stimulus for adaptation. Regular tracking also allows for adjustment when progress stalls, helping to prevent plateaus and ensuring that the nervous system and musculoskeletal system are continuously challenged. Objective feedback provides a clear roadmap for both short-term improvements and long-term gains. Technique and quality of movement play a crucial role in the effectiveness of progressive overload. Simply adding more weight, reps, or speed without maintaining proper form can increase the risk of injury and reduce the efficiency of adaptation. Focusing on controlled movements, correct posture, and intentional engagement of target muscles ensures that the stress is distributed appropriately, maximizing the body's ability to respond and minimizing unnecessary strain. This precision also enhances neural efficiency, as the nervous system learns to recruit the right motor units, further improving strength, coordination, and endurance over time. Variety within progressive overload can also enhance outcomes. The body adapts not only to load, but also to different movement patterns, tempos, and angles of force application. Altering exercise selection, grip positions, or the speed of execution introduces new challenges that stimulate further adaptation. Even subtle changes can produce significant improvements in strength, flexibility, and overall performance, as the body is forced to develop resilience and coordination in multiple dimensions. This multidimensional approach prevents monotony and keeps the training stimulus effective over time. Progressive overload is not solely about physical stress. It is also a matter of strategic planning and consistency. Applying the principle intelligently over weeks and months allows for sustainable improvement while reducing the likelihood of burnout or overtraining. By combining gradual increases, careful monitoring, and attention to technique, the body responds predictably to challenge, producing measurable gains in strength, endurance, and overall performance. This approach ensures that every session builds on the previous one, creating a continuous upward trajectory in fitness and capability. Recovery is a fundamental component of any effective exercise program, yet it is often overlooked in favor of simply increasing training volume or intensity. Exercise places stress on muscles, connective tissues, and the nervous system, causing micro damage and depleting energy stores. The body's adaptations, such as muscle growth, increased strength, improved cardiovascular efficiency, and enhanced coordination, occur primarily during recovery rather than during the training session itself. Without sufficient rest and recovery, the benefits of training are diminished, fatigue accumulates, and the risk of injury rises. Understanding and prioritizing recovery allows the body to respond optimally to exercise, ensuring consistent progress over time. Sleep is one of the most critical recovery tools because it supports hormonal regulation, neural repair, and tissue regeneration. Deep stages of sleep, particularly slow-wave sleep, are associated with the release of growth hormone, which facilitates protein synthesis and muscle repair. Inadequate sleep can impair the body's ability to recover, reduce motivation, and compromise performance. Cognitive function is also affected, as the brain requires rest to consolidate motor learning and skill acquisition. Therefore, aligning training schedules with adequate sleep patterns enhances the body's capacity to adapt and strengthens the link between effort and improvement. Nutrition plays a complementary role in recovery by providing the necessary substrates for repair and adaptation. Protein intake, for example, supplies amino acids essential for rebuilding muscle fibers damaged during resistance training. Timing of nutrient intake is also important. Consuming protein and carbohydrates around the workout window can accelerate recovery, replenish glycogen stores, and improve subsequent performance. Adequate intake of vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats supports cellular function, reduces inflammation, and enhances immune system resilience, allowing the body to cope with the stress of repeated exercise sessions. Hydration is another essential element of recovery. Water is critical for nutrient transport, temperature regulation, and joint lubrication. Dehydration can impair physical performance, increase perceived effort, and slow the recovery process. Electrolytes such as sodium, potassium, and magnesium are also important because they regulate muscle contraction and nerve function. Proper hydration before, during, and after exercise supports both performance and the body's ability to repair itself efficiently. Active recovery strategies, including low-intensity movement, mobility work, and stretching, help maintain blood flow to muscles, facilitating the removal of metabolic byproducts and reducing stiffness. These techniques can also enhance flexibility, improve joint health, and prepare the nervous system for future training sessions. Alternating intense workouts with recovery-focused sessions allows the body to adapt without overloading it, which is crucial for sustainable long-term progress. Managing stress and mental fatigue is another critical aspect of recovery. Chronic psychological stress elevates cortisol levels, which can interfere with tissue repair, immune function, and energy regulation. Incorporating mindfulness, relaxation techniques, or light recreational activities can help maintain a balanced nervous system and optimize recovery. When mental and physical recovery are synchronized, the body is better equipped to respond to training stimuli, allowing performance improvements to accumulate consistently. Incorporating recovery strategically into a training program ensures that the body has the time, energy, and resources to adapt to stress effectively. By prioritizing sleep, nutrition, hydration, active recovery, and stress management, individuals can optimize the physiological processes that occur between workouts, enhancing strength, endurance, and overall performance. Recovery is not a passive element of exercise. It is an active and deliberate component that enables the nervous system, muscles, and cardiovascular system to function at their highest potential, ultimately making each subsequent training session more productive and effective. Aligning training with circadian rhythms and structuring workouts strategically is a science-based approach that can significantly enhance performance and adaptation. The human body operates on internal biological clocks that regulate hormone secretion, energy levels, body temperature, and alertness throughout the day. These rhythms influence strength, endurance, coordination, and recovery capacity. By timing workouts to coincide with periods of peak physiological readiness, individuals can maximize the effectiveness of their exercise sessions. Ignoring these natural cycles can lead to suboptimal performance, increased fatigue, and slower progress, even if training intensity and volume are adequate. Research indicates that physical performance often fluctuates across the day, with strength, power, output, and high-intensity effort peaking in the late afternoon or early evening for many individuals. Body temperature tends to be higher during these hours, enhancing muscle elasticity, joint mobility, and metabolic efficiency. Reaction time and neural activation are also often optimized, allowing for better coordination, balance, and force production. Leveraging these natural peaks can improve exercise quality, reduce the risk of injury, and increase the stimulus for adaptation. For tasks requiring maximal power, explosive movements, or complex coordination, training during these periods may yield the greatest benefit. Cardiovascular and endurance activities may have slightly different optimal windows, depending on the individual's chronotype and daily schedule. Morning sessions can be advantageous for some, particularly for improving fat oxidation, supporting consistent habit formation or aligning with work and lifestyle demands. The key is consistency. Training at the same time each day helps the body anticipate physical stress, optimizing hormone release, neural readiness, and metabolic function over the long term. Establishing a routine strengthens the connection between environmental cues and physiological response, effectively training the body to perform reliably at specific times. Periodization and variation are closely linked to aligning training with natural rhythms. Alternating between strength, endurance, mobility, and skill-focused sessions allows different physiological systems to adapt without excessive overlap or fatigue. For example, high-intensity strength work might be scheduled during periods of peak alertness, while mobility or light aerobic sessions can be performed during lower energy windows. This structured variation prevents plateaus, reduces the risk of overuse injuries, and keeps the nervous system engaged. By systematically varying the stimulus, the body is continuously challenged in a manageable way, allowing for steady long-term improvements. Recovery periods also benefit from alignment with circadian rhythms. Deep sleep, which is critical for hormonal release, tissue repair, and neural consolidation, occurs predominantly during night cycles. Scheduling high-intensity sessions in a way that allows for sufficient recovery before sleep ensures that the body can fully leverage these restorative processes. Similarly, nutrition timing, hydration, and post-workout cooldown routines should be coordinated with daily biological patterns to maximize adaptation and minimize physiological stress. Cognitive and psychological factors are influenced by circadian alignment as well. Training during periods of natural alertness enhances focus, motivation, and the ability to execute complex movements with proper technique. Mental clarity reduces error, improves neural engagement, and strengthens the connection between effort and outcome. Conversely, training during periods of low energy without proper adjustment may increase perceived exertion, reduce motivation, and elevate the risk of burnout or injury. By respecting the body's natural rhythms and structuring training accordingly, individuals create an optimized environment for both physiological adaptation and consistent high-quality performance, ensuring that every session contributes meaningfully to long-term progress. Using monitoring tools to track physiological feedback is one of the most powerful ways to optimize an exercise program. The body constantly produces signals that reflect its level of readiness, fatigue, and adaptation to training stress. When these signals are observed and interpreted correctly, they allow individuals to adjust training intensity, volume, and recovery strategies in real time. Instead of relying solely on motivation or guesswork, monitoring tools provide objective insight into how the body is responding to exercise. This approach transforms training into a more precise and personalized process, ensuring that each session delivers the right stimulus for progress without pushing the body into excessive fatigue or injury. One of the most useful indicators of recovery and readiness is heart rate variability, often abbreviated as HRV. HRV measures the variation in time between heartbeats and reflects the balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic branches of the nervous system. When HRV is higher, it generally indicates that the body is well recovered and capable of handling stress. Lower HRV can suggest fatigue, stress accumulation, or insufficient recovery. By tracking HRV over time, individuals can determine whether they should push harder during a workout or scale back intensity to allow the body to recover. This feedback loop helps prevent overtraining while maintaining steady progress. Perceived exertion is another valuable tool for monitoring exercise intensity. Although it may seem subjective, the body's perception of effort provides important information about how hard the nervous system and muscles are working. Scales such as the rate of perceived exertion allow individuals to assess effort levels during training, ensuring that workouts remain within the desired intensity range. For example, moderate endurance training might feel like a steady effort that allows conversation, while high-intensity intervals should feel significantly more demanding. Learning to recognize and interpret these internal signals improves self-awareness and helps regulate training stress effectively. Tracking performance metrics also plays a key role in monitoring progress. In strength training, this may include recording the weight lifted, the number of repetitions performed, and the total volume of each workout. In endurance training, metrics such as pace, distance, or time can indicate improvements in cardiovascular efficiency. Over time, patterns emerge that reveal how the body adapts to training stimuli. When performance consistently improves, it signals that the training program is effective. When progress stalls or declines, adjustments can be made in workload, recovery, or exercise selection to restore forward momentum. Wearable technology and digital tools have made monitoring more accessible than ever. Devices that track heart rate, sleep quality, movement patterns, and energy expenditure provide continuous streams of data about the body's physiological state. These tools can highlight trends that might otherwise go unnoticed, such as subtle increases in resting heart rate that may indicate fatigue or insufficient recovery. By reviewing this information regularly, individuals gain a deeper understanding of how lifestyle factors such as sleep, stress, and nutrition influence training outcomes. Another advantage of monitoring tools is their ability to promote consistency and accountability. When progress and recovery indicators are recorded, individuals become more engaged with their training process. Data-driven feedback encourages smarter decision-making, reducing the likelihood of pushing too hard on days when recovery is needed or holding back when the body is ready for greater challenge. Over time, this awareness strengthens the connection between effort, recovery, and adaptation. Integrating monitoring tools into an exercise program does not mean relying solely on numbers or technology. Instead, it involves combining objective data with personal awareness of how the body feels and performs. This balanced approach ensures that training remains flexible and responsive, allowing adjustments that maximize efficiency and long-term improvement. By paying attention to physiological feedback and using it to guide training decisions, individuals create a system that supports continuous progress while engaging the nervous system effectively is a critical yet often overlooked component of optimizing an exercise program. Performance, strength, coordination, and efficiency are all heavily influenced by how well the nervous system communicates with the muscles. Every movement, from lifting a weight to running or performing complex skill-based exercises, relies on the recruitment of motor units, precise timing, and neural coordination. If the nervous system is undertrained or not properly activated, even well-conditioned muscles may fail to perform optimally. Understanding how to prime and engage the nervous system ensures that the body can execute movements efficiently, reduce injury risk, and maximize training results. Proper warm-ups are one of the simplest yet most effective ways to engage the nervous system. Dynamic movements, mobility drills, and light activation exercises prepare both muscles and nerves for the demands of training. A warm-up increases blood flow, elevates muscle temperature, and primes neural circuits responsible for coordination and force production. By engaging the nervous system before heavy or complex work, reaction time improves, motor unit recruitment becomes more efficient, and movement patterns are executed with greater precision. Skipping or underestimating this step can lead to suboptimal performance, poor form, and higher injury risk, even if strength or endurance capacity is sufficient. Skill-focused exercises also enhance neural engagement by training the nervous system to coordinate movement patterns with precision and efficiency. Complex movements such as Olympic lifts, agility drills, or balance-focused exercises require the integration of multiple joints, muscles, and sensory inputs. Repeated practice of these skills strengthens neural pathways, allowing the brain to communicate more effectively with muscles over time. This results in smoother, more controlled movements, better force production, and reduced energy waste. By focusing on quality and coordination, the nervous system learns to optimize muscle recruitment, which enhances both performance and long-term adaptability. Another essential aspect of nervous system engagement is deliberate movement control. Rushing through exercises or using momentum instead of targeted muscle contraction diminishes neural efficiency and reduces the training stimulus. Slower, intentional execution ensures that the nervous system actively recruits the correct motor units and reinforces proper movement patterns. Over time, this improves strength, stability, and coordination while reducing compensatory movement that can lead to injury. Mindful attention to movement quality strengthens the brain-muscle connection, making the body more responsive to progressive overload and other training stimuli. Recovery and neural readiness also affect nervous system performance. Fatigue, poor sleep, or high stress levels can impair motor unit recruitment, reaction time, and focus, reducing the efficiency of any training session. Incorporating adequate rest, sleep, and active recovery supports the nervous system's ability to function optimally. Even small strategies such as focused breathing, mobility drills, or neuromuscular activation exercises between sessions can maintain or restore neural efficiency, ensuring that each workout maximizes adaptation. Over time, consistently engaging the nervous system during exercise enhances not only immediate performance, but also long-term skill acquisition, strength gains, and movement efficiency. The nervous system becomes more adept at coordinating complex patterns, stabilizing joints, and recruiting muscles precisely when needed. By prioritizing neural engagement alongside physical training, individuals create a system where strength, speed, coordination, and resilience improve simultaneously, making every session more effective and reducing the likelihood of injury while supporting sustainable progress. Periodization and variation are essential strategies for optimizing an exercise program because they allow the body to adapt continuously without plateauing or experiencing overuse injuries. The principle behind periodization is to organize training into structured phases that systematically manipulate intensity, volume, and exercise selection. Each phase focuses on specific physiological goals, such as building strength, enhancing endurance, improving power, or increasing mobility. By strategically varying these factors over time, the nervous system and musculoskeletal system are consistently challenged in new ways, which stimulates adaptation while minimizing fatigue and reducing the risk of injury. This structured variation ensures long-term progress and prevents stagnation. One of the primary benefits of periodization is its ability to balance stress and recovery. Training at high intensity or volume for extended periods without variation can lead to excessive fatigue, impaired performance, and heightened risk of injury. By contrast, alternating between heavier, high-intensity phases and lighter, recovery-focused periods allows the body to repair tissues, restore energy stores, and consolidate neural adaptations. This cyclical approach ensures that each new training phase begins with sufficient physiological and neurological readiness, maximizing the effectiveness of every session. Over time, this method produces consistent, sustainable improvements in strength, endurance, and overall performance. Variation within an exercise program also targets multiple physiological systems simultaneously. For instance, combining strength training, cardiovascular conditioning, mobility work, and skill-focused exercises ensures that muscles, joints, and the nervous system develop comprehensively. Strength training enhances force production and muscular endurance, while cardiovascular work improves oxygen delivery, metabolic efficiency, and energy utilization. Mobility and flexibility training maintain joint health and range of motion, which supports proper technique and reduces the likelihood of compensatory movement patterns. Skill-focused exercises improve coordination, timing, and motor unit recruitment, enhancing both performance and efficiency. By varying exercise modalities and training targets, the body is forced to adapt in multiple dimensions, promoting balanced development and resilience. Incorporating variation also helps maintain engagement and motivation. Repeating the same workouts continuously can lead to mental fatigue and decreased focus, reducing the quality of effort and overall performance. Introducing new exercises, altering movement patterns, and changing tempo or intensity keeps the nervous system alert and engaged, which enhances neural adaptation and encourages consistent participation. Mental stimulation is as important as physical challenge because the brain interprets novelty as an opportunity to learn, reinforcing commitment and attention to the training program. Monitoring and adjusting variation is key to effective periodization. Tracking performance metrics, recovery signals, and perceived effort allows individuals to determine when progression is appropriate or when a deload phase is needed. For example, plateaus in strength or endurance may indicate the need to shift focus, change exercises, or reduce training load temporarily. By responding to these indicators, the program remains responsive to the body's current state while continuing to drive adaptation. Long-term success relies on integrating periodization and variation with other science-based principles, such as progressive overload, recovery, and neural engagement. Each phase builds on the previous one, ensuring that adaptations accumulate systematically rather than haphazardly. The combination of structured variation, consistent monitoring, and deliberate progression allows the body to adapt efficiently, reduces risk of injury, and maximizes the effectiveness of every training session. Over time, periodization transforms a repetitive exercise routine into a dynamic, responsive system that promotes continual growth, improved performance, and sustainable fitness development. By integrating periodization and variation into an exercise program, individuals create a framework that not only drives consistent progress, but also protects the body from overuse and burnout. Structured phases, strategic adjustments, and varied stimuli ensure that muscles, joints, and the nervous system are continually challenged in balanced ways. Over time, this approach enhances strength, endurance, coordination, and resilience while maintaining engagement and motivation. When combined with principles like progressive overload, recovery, and neural activation, periodization transforms training from a routine into a dynamic, science-based system that supports long-term fitness, performance, and overall health.